dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. First Baptist Church of Hazard officials say they invited worshipers to an early morning Easter service to strengthen the bond in the community. WYMT's Zach Hawk was there bright and early for a chilly Sunday service.
Hazard area churches held an Easter sunrise service Sunday morning. Pastor Sam Stacy from Petrie Memorial Baptist Church was one of the speakers.
We got 4 churches that came together and decided they wanted to do something together as, the body of Christ. And I think that's a real good thing because we want to learn to work together and be his arms and legs here on earth.
Pastor Tim Reynolds of First Baptist Church of Hazard was excited to start the day, inviting the whole community to the farmers market at the Triangle.
What an exciting morning it is as the sun is out and beautiful. It's a little nippy, but it just keeps everybody awake. It's great.
Sunday's service was in person, but that hasn't always been the case over the last nearly 3 years.
During COVID, we turned to Facebook and we did a lot of Facebook Live stuff, and that helped us reach people that were concerned about being out during the pandemic.
Even with the extended reach of virtual worship, Pastor Lowell Parker and the other pastors say being together in person is more important.
I'm more like an in-person person when it comes to serving the Lord, fellowshipping. There ain't no better ship than fellowship, and you don't get it through technology.
Oh, it is great. There is nothing like being in fellowship with one another, other Christians during this special time of the year. Our highest and holiest day as Christians.
In Hazard, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
In addition to arranging time for the pastors to speak, organizers also offered special thanks to music put on by Bowman United Methodist Church. After 2 years of fighting the coronavirus, doctors, nurses, and families say they're finding some relief in Kentucky's current COVID conditions, especially on this holiday weekend. Lexington physician Dr. Jeff Fox says the Commonwealth is in a much better place after the Omicron variant made for another difficult winter. The most recent CDC levels show just 3 Kentucky counties in the yellow, and Dr. Fox says that's a huge relief for hospitals in our area.
We're to the point, Easter, Resurrection Sunday, springtime, things are new. Hopefully we're going to be back there too. We are new.
Dr. Fox added that it's now easier to go to the doctor's office without worry of contracting the virus. Dr. Fox says if you're in a green area and have been vaccinated, it's safe to enjoy those Easter services and family gatherings as normal. But he says there is no harm in wearing a mask or taking other steps to protect yourself if you feel you might be at risk. The Kentucky Department of Revenue wants to remind taxpayers that the 2021 state individual income tax filing deadline is tomorrow, Monday, April 18th. Folks have until tomorrow to submit Kentucky individual income tax returns and payments for the 2021 tax year without accruing penalties and interest, which will begin to accrue on any remaining unpaid balances after tomorrow, regardless of the amount owed. The IRS is urging Americans to file their returns electronically because it's currently taking up to 6 months to process a paper return. And don't miss your chance to vote in the 2022 primary election. Tomorrow, April 18th at 4 p.m. is the deadline to register to vote. Primary election day is May 17th. So if you'd like, you can register to vote online at govoteky.com. But again, it's got to be done by tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Well, after a chilly and quiet start to our Easter Sunday, we are now tracking some showers starting to build into the mountains. Live look over at Whitesburg in Letcher County. Current temperature sitting at 60 degrees under that mostly cloudy sky. And those clouds and showers are going to be on the increase through the rest of tonight. Temperatures anywhere from the lower 50s to middle 60s, 66 in Jonesville, 58 in Jackson and London, 54 over in Moorhead. And you see on Pinpoint Doppler, those showers are on the increase, especially south of the Hal Rogers Parkway, and these are pushing off towards the north and east. As we go throughout the rest of tonight, those showers will continue. More showers are likely as we get towards Monday morning. I got your full forecast and what you can expect coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. A man arrested after a mass shooting at a mall in Columbia, South Carolina, was granted bond on Sunday afternoon. A judge announced that 22-year-old Jawayne Price would be granted a surety bond of $25,000 and be required to wear an ankle monitor. He must also have no contact with anyone involved in the incident and must stay away from the Columbiana Center Mall. Police said they now believe that at least 3 suspects had firearms inside the mall, and investigators are working to determine which of the suspects fired their guns, injuring multiple people. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is investigating another mass shooting that left at least 9 people wounded this morning. Officials say the shooting happened at a lounge in Hampton, South Carolina. There are no reported fatalities at this time, but at least 9 people were wounded by gunfire. Crews in Meigs County, Ohio made a harrowing cliff rescue last night in the town of Pomeroy. Crews were alerted to a possible vehicle over a cliff. When police arrived on the scene, there was no vehicle stuck on the cliff, but bystanders had tried to rescue a person who was stuck 20 feet below the top of the hill. Crews and bystanders used rope, rescue equipment, and manpower to lower and raise personnel and trapped individuals to safety. After approximately 2.5 hours from the original call, all parties were safely retrieved and thankfully uninjured. The U.S. Coast Guard has confirmed that after over a month of being stuck, the Ever Forward cargo ship has been refloated in the Chesapeake Bay. The Ever Forward ran aground 24 feet deep into the mud on March 13th. Crews dug out at least 84,000 cubic yards of mud from the vessel. The Department of the Environment said that's about 27 barges worth of mud. The U.S. Coast Guard and coordinating agencies also removed around 500 containers of its nearly 5,000 container load. In the final Kentucky Derby prep race on the road to Louisville, Tawny Port won the $400,000 Stone Street Lexington for 3-year-olds. Tawny Port picked up 20 points and booked his spot in the Kentucky Derby 148. He now has 60 total points, good for the number 11 spot on the leaderboard. Major General picked up 8 points for finishing second to boost his total to 18 points, good for 27th. In Due Time added 4 points for third to bring his total to 24 points, good for 22nd. Ethereal Road added 2 points for finishing fourth to bring his total to 22 points, which is good for 23rd. The Kentucky Derby is on May 7th. Easter is a time for getting together with loved ones and participating in springtime activities. But like any other holidays, it's important to keep in mind food safety and avoid the risk of foodborne illness. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to a healthcare professional about the different ways we can all stay safe from any food-related issues this Easter.
Easter egg hunts are impossible without the eggs.
We boil eggs, we color them, and then we hide them for the children to hunt and so on.
But before you consider consuming any boiled eggs that were a part of Sunday's Easter hunt, it's important to remember a few things.
So we get questions about how long is it safe to eat a boiled egg. Typically 2 hours is the limit.
Scott Lockard with the Kentucky River District Health Department says boiled eggs that are unrefrigerated for longer than 2 hours can accumulate unwanted bacteria.
And I remember as a child myself finding a boiled egg a week after the fact that was hid so good, and you hope you don't consume something like that or a child consumes that.
Not only is it important to keep real eggs in mind, but it's important to not consume too much of the candy that is hidden inside the plastic ones.
Candy in moderation is fine, of course. You know, we all enjoy it, but getting too big of a sugar rush right now from what's inside of all those plastic eggs too, something we need to be concerned about.
And when you're looking to eat some of those Easter dinner leftovers, it's important to eat them within a 24 to 36 hour time span to avoid risk of foodborne illness.
It's amazing how quickly bacteria can set up and then foodborne illness.
Hoping to avoid food-related issues so every bunny can have a happy and healthy Easter. Alyssa Williams, WYMT, Mountain News.
Scott Lockard adds that it's only okay to consume dyed boiled eggs if they were colored with a toxic-free edible dye. We have more tips on how to avoid food-related issues on our website, WYMT.com. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is investigating Lucky Charms after dozens of customers complained of illness after eating. FDA said Saturday it has received more than 100 complaints related to Lucky Charms, which is owned by General Mills, so far this year. Several hundred people have also posted on a food safety website complaining of nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting after eating Lucky Charms. General Mills, Inc. said in its own investigation has not found any evidence of consumer illness linked to Lucky Charms. A lot of us wear our shoes around the house, but you might want to think twice. Researchers say leaving your shoes on inside the house could bring in potentially harmful pathogens from outside. They say shoes can carry microorganisms that are drug resistant, including hospital-associated infectious germs that are difficult to treat. Toxic road asphalt residue and lawn treatment chemicals could also be tracked indoors. If you're not interested in walking around barefoot or in socks indoors, the group says a solution could be to have some indoor-only shoes that never get worn outside. Coming up in 6, a Ukrainian church in Lexington returns from a trip to Poland and Ukraine.
It has been a cool and calm Easter Sunday across the mountains, but showers will return as early as tonight. I got your full forecast coming up.